Hey there! This is a short, funny cheating story, apart from the detailed stories on my channel, so please enjoy. I will post more detailed revenge stories on my channel. In the meantime, enjoy this one and subscribe to my channel. My wife Debbie is cheating on me. Like right now, she is cheating on me. No, not with my best friend or her first true love from high school. It was Hans Jorgensen from across the street. With a name like that, you immediately picture a 30-something, 6-foot-plus tall, blonde-haired jerk with muscles that would have put Lou Ferrigno to shame. In reality, what you have is a 60-year-old AARP enrollee that's maybe 5 foot 4 inches tall, 300-pound asthmatic that would be lucky to see his tool with a mirror on the floor. So why is my wife having an affair with him? At first, I thought it was some previously unknown daddy issues. No, she was cheating because he never had a sweet Valentine. Well, boo-hoo, we all have had to live with disappointment in our lives. I hated that the Indians imploded in the World Series. I lost money on those guys, damn it. That's $5 I'll never get back. But I didn't lose my moral compass because of it. Besides, there's always the Browns, right? Right? Sorry, I left for a second there, but I'm back now. Debbie has always been there to help the helpless. Stray animals and Jehovah's Witnesses were her favorite. She always gave a kind word and a bowl of water to those who were in need. It did my heart good to see the animals leave with a smile on their face and those Jehovah's Witnesses on their knees drinking from a bowl on a hot summer day. But her cheating with our neighbor because he never had a Valentine? That's just too much. I'm not too much on the forgive and forget nonsense unless it's for minor stuff. If your dog poops in my yard, I won't go Rambo on you. I will calmly walk over to your residence, drop my pants, and cleanse my colon on your front lawn without any harsh words or threats. By the time I get back to my place, you and your dog are forgiven and forgotten. If someone soils my marriage, now that's a different thing entirely. My wife knows my take on fidelity. We discussed it at length before we married. If you cheat, it's over. But I guess the doctor pushed the needle in too deep during her last Botox injection, and it messed up her memory. Not my fault. She cheats, she pays. And so will the fat bastard. But how will I get my revenge? The thought of calling in my former Navy SEAL buddies for some suburban action won't work. I wasn't a SEAL. Or maybe I'll hire a mob hitman with my spare cash. No, that won't work either. The mortgage, car, and credit card payments, and Debbie took all my cash. The only thing left for us poor people is good old-fashioned violence. But I don't do well in confined spaces surrounded by barbed wire and cellmates who grew up with pigs for Saturday night fun. There had to be a better way. Again, how? What kind of deviousness can I use to demonstrate my displeasure in the actions of the two immoral fornicators and keep my freedom? It has to be decided quickly, and it has to be done before the lovers are done loving. Besides, there was a neighborhood party I had to go to over at the Petermans around 7 p.m. I didn't want to go, but had no choice. This year, I agreed to go as Cupid. The kids love it. It was a tradition that started years ago. Some father or neighborhood friend dresses up as Cupid and gives the kids a laugh. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. A pansy wearing a diaper with strapped-on Tinkerbell wings carrying a miniature bow and arrow. That's partially true. Sure, it's still a diaper and Tinkerbell wings, but I'm 6 foot 2 inches tall, 230-pound muscled construction worker. I rock the suit. However, instead of a child-size bow and arrow, I carry a Bear Threat compound bow with a maximum draw weight of 70 pounds. This thing will put an arrow through your chest and bury it in the tree behind you. It's not a kid's toy. Maybe I could use the costume and bow to my advantage. Before I go to the party, I can put one hell of a scare into Numbskull, letting them know they have until morning to leave town and that they had better go together. The hunting bow would be the incentive. I will not support the cheating woman of mine after she cheated on me. I won't forgive or forget, and if the newly elected female judge in the county courthouse thinks I'll pay her alimony after she had an affair with that bastard, well, she's just knucking futs. He's got money. Let him take care of her. After I squeezed myself into my diaper and strapped on my wings, I got a good look in the mirror. I need another drink. Even though I make Cupid look good, it's still embarrassing. After throwing another shot of whiskey down my throat, I headed out. The last thing I wanted to see was my wife having an affair with some fat bastard. But a man's got to do what a man's got to do. Jorgensen always kept his front door open using only a storm door. He allowed everyone the ability to walk in with just a hello. That's how I know he's having an affair with my wife. With an easy view through his door, I watched the two climb the stairs to his bedroom so they could kill my marriage. After I walked inside his house, I heard the grunting. I made it quietly up the stairs and almost lost control of my stomach, coming and going. On the bed, in a compromising position, was 300 pounds of fat, dripping in sweat and grunting, spread out over a 120-pound soon-to-be ex-wife. It looked like the famed white whale doing a very poor slip-and-slide imitation on a tanned, bubble-lipped cheating woman. Sorry, I left there for a second, but I'm back now. I stood there for a couple of seconds, waiting to be noticed. I was growing impatient, not only because I wanted to get this over with, but because I was losing the battle to keep from soiling my diaper. The scene wasn't pretty. The noises went on for a few more seconds before I finally got their attention the best way I knew how. Both had their eyes closed. Guess when you're into it, you're into it. I walked over to within inches of the pair as I bent down close to the white whale Jorgensen and yelled, "Boo!" Seriously, folks, I didn't know the guy had a bad heart. Yeah, I know it goes along with being old and fat, but I didn't know his heart was that bad. Oh well. He seized up like a car engine with a failed oil pump and collapsed on the bed. Do you know what it looks like watching 300 pounds of literal dead weight suffocate a thrashing, cheating woman? Sorry, it won't happen again. Well, I couldn't very well let her suffocate to death, could I? No, I could not. I still had some love left for the stupid cheating woman. I placed the bow on the floor and tried to roll the fat man off my wife. Gravity and mass did not allow for a simple roll and drop. I had to use the wall for leverage by placing my back against it and pushing the whale carcass with my legs. The whole upstairs shook as he hit the floor face up. Debbie gasped for air several times as her color turned more pinkish. It didn't take long before her eyes adjusted and she saw me standing there. They almost went back to their bugged-out state prior to me rolling all that weight off of her. It was time to move things along as I had a party to go to. The beached whale on the floor wasn't moving, but since he didn't go from the famed white whale to a blue whale, I figured he was still breathing. I knelt down and noticed he was indeed breathing. I guess I just scared him and he fainted. I slapped his face hard, thinking it might stir him awake. It did, and when he saw the look on my face, he almost fainted again. I continued to slap the idiot's face, getting his focus on me. Having the bow back in my hands, I emphasized the need to leave the neighborhood. The message was clear when an arrow was pointed at your head. Just because I was dressed as Cupid didn't lessen my sincerity. By now, Debbie was crying, citing every cliché from the cheater's handbook. Of course, I wasn't swayed and told her to pack her stuff and get out of my house before I came back from the Peterman's party, or I might change my mind and use the bow on both of them. I had to ask her how could she throw away our marriage for the fat bastard lying on the floor. Her reply goes to helping the helpless. All she wanted was to give him a Valentine's Day to remember. She succeeded. After a quick happy Valentine's Day, one-finger salute to my soon-to-be ex-wife, I left the house and went to the party at the Petermans. The first half hour was filled with wolf whistles, crude remarks, and questions about my wife. Pleading ignorance on the latter, I continued my fun with the kids. The little troublemakers were just as bad as the adults with the remarks. I swear that Walter's kid wants his back kicked. I don't care if he's 13. No one walks up to me and gives me a wedgie without some sort of payback. It was about 3 hours in with the party before the concern for my wife couldn't be ignored any longer. It was also time to take off the costume, so I headed home to change. Frank Wilson and his wife came along. He wanted to borrow my cordless drill, and Sheila wanted to talk to my wife. She was thinking Debbie started early with one of the bottles of wine we brought back from our Napa Valley trip and lost track of time. It was obvious Debbie listened since most of her clothes were gone. Not enough to be gone forever, but just enough for a few weeks. She probably figured if she left me alone long enough, I would get over my mad and I would take her back. After I changed, I went downstairs to see Frank drinking one of my beers at my dining room table. When I asked where Sheila was, he pointed outside and shrugged his shoulders. Sheila was outside talking to a distraught Debbie as she placed her suitcases in good old Hans's car. It wasn't long before Sheila came back in. She walked up to me and gave me a hug, telling me she was so sorry for what Debbie did. She said Debbie admitted to cheating on me with the old white whale. She just wanted to give him a Valentine's Day to remember, and it got out of hand. Well, no kidding. Debbie hoped I would talk to her after I was done being angry at her. We've been friends long enough that Sheila knew that wasn't likely to happen. Long story short, I refused to listen to Debbie's nonsense. She fought the divorce for months, but eventually it went through. The settlement was fair, but with no kids and our income being equal, we split everything 50-50 and went our own way. Jorgensen also decided it was best to listen and left for places unknown. Sympathy runs deep when a hunk wearing a Cupid suit finds out his wife cheated on him with the neighborhood whale. By the next Valentine's Day, I had a new girlfriend, and she had no problem with doing a his and hers Cupid suit at the Petermans. It was a great time except when Walter's kid tried to give Bethany a wedgie. This time he did get his back kicked by her. And that's the end of today's story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and drop a comment below. Your support helps the algorithm push my content further. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me keep creating more stories for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.